Hey guys, I'm sitting in a Dunkin' Donuts right now editing. So I've decided to split the book wrap up episode into two parts. Basically, part one is where you hear me talking with Michael. Part one is me talking with Michael, and part two with Gabby. So yeah, clearly I didn't plan and organize this very well. I also recorded the part with Gabby first, and then with Michael the next day. So basically, it's all out of order. But whatever, we live and learn. So yeah. But anyway, hope you enjoy. And then, so yeah, this week you get Michael. Next week, book wrap up with Gabby, and then we do our two-part movie talk episode. So hope you enjoy. Bye.
Hi everyone, this is Alyson. It's still late at night though, so you're still getting the same frazzled, chaotic energy. But anyway, so this week we are doing the Catching Fire wrap-up episode. Gabby and I recorded our main portion 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. It is currently Sunday, October 23rd.
Yeah.
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 I only can remember because the Taylor Swift Midnight's album released 2 days ago. That's the only reason I can remember
Oh,
dates
that's right.
anymore. But anyway, the weird voice you're hearing in the background is my other guest for the episode, who's one of you lovely, fabulous listeners. Everyone say hi to Michael. Yay, round of applause.
Thank you so much for letting me do this with you.
Of course, it's lovely to meet one of the random people who just hears me talking into a void once a week. But anyway, so Michael, I don't know, say hi. Say, I don't know, fact about yourself and what kind and how you discovered the world of Pen M.
Oh, so I drive a lot, and then so I've been getting tired of listening to all the same songs over and over on my playlist. So I was like, I'm gonna start getting into some audiobooks. And yeah, once I started it, just fell in love with it. And I mean, I've always loved the movies, but I mean, once I got into the audiobooks, it just blew my mind. And I'm addicted. Like I was telling you the other day, I'm officially 100% addicted to this story.
Yep. And then you just keep coming back for more.
Oh, all the time. You know how many times I read this book?
How many?
Uh, I think this week alone, I read it 2 times.
The whole series?
No, the book, just Catching Fire. Because
Okay.
since we talked about, possibly
Yeah.
doing this, so I wanted to make sure I didn't let anything get by. So I got it done two
Yeah.
times this week.
To be fair, I probably let some things get by when I was doing my wrap up portion with Gabby because I'm like, I put too much brain power into all the other episodes. I'm done, guys. Seriously, you have no idea how much prep and brain power I have to put into prepping my notes for when I'm talking into the void. But
No, you do a phenomenal job, especially through each episode. Yeah, you're spot on.
thank you. But yeah. So you drive a lot for your day to day life. It sounds like.
Yeah, yep.
Nice. So yeah, audiobooks are very helpful. Are very helpful for that. And so, like, what were your kind of expectations going into Catching Fire the first time? Or I guess you had seen the movies before the books, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, cause like I saw the movies first, and then when I started getting into the books, like I didn't know how close
Mm-hmm.
they would be. Like Harry Potter, like there's a lot of stuff that just wasn't, this as exactly was in the books. But I was surprised how close the movies were to the books, but how it just in depth it goes, like there's so much stuff I wish they would have added to the movies, even though I love them, I still
Mm-hmm.
do. But yeah, Catching Fire, like I remember when we talked, I said Mockingjay was probably my favorite book, but I think I don't know. Every time I read this
I
book,
know.
I love it. I love it. I
It,
mean, I guess I love all of them, but
I know it's hard. It's
it
hard.
is.
And then like your mood changes or your views change uh about things Like I was
Yeah.
sure for the longest time, for like the past year, I think that like when I was ranking my favorites in the series, it was like Hunger Games, then Catching Fire, then Ballad, then Mockingjay. Now I might prefer Ballad over Catching Fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
And I'm legit freaking out over all the behind the scenes stuff we're seeing for the movie. If anyone's seen my TikToks, you'll know that.
yeah.
Just, you know,
I,
me
I,
sitting in
I
the car screaming, essentially.
yeah. Like I was telling you on the other day, or anything about Ballad, I'm trying to,
I know.
mute from you. So I'm trying to,
I know, it's like la 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 la, I'm not hearing
yeah,
anything.
I'm gonna go into that completely open-minded and everything.
Better do it soon, because
Yeah. I think I am.
But it's interesting kind of like hearing your perspective on Catching Fire, because I realize you saw the movie first versus me and
Yep.
Gabby. Our experience is reading the books before the movies came out. So our experiences are obviously flipped. And then especially the twist of Katniss and Peeta going back into the Quarter Quell. Because when Gabby and I read those books, like the first movie hadn't even come out yet. We hadn't had any trailers to like give us a hint about that they have to go back into the arena. So both of us just had like the rug pulled out from under us completely on that
I
one.
know. Yes.
I literally like had to go back and like read that whole page a second time, because I'm like, hold on. I did not just read that correctly. What? And then I had to do that even more times while reading Mockingjay for the first time. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much going on in that one.
So much happens in so short a time. It feels like
I know.
because Mockingjay is about the same size as like the Hunger Games and Catching Fire. But then when you think of everything that happens, it's like that's a lot.
I know. Like when you get towards the end of that one, and you like just think it back where it started to where you are at now, like it's crazy. I was just in one book.
Yep. And then what's even crazier, and again, I'll get more into detail when we get to Mockingjay properly, is just like reading the last page of Mockingjay and then immediately jumping back into page 1 of the first book. It's like, and then just starting the cycle all over again, but whatever.
Yep.
So I don't even know how to describe that feeling. But anyway, so what were like were there certain like details that really stuck out from you from going like to the move that weren't in the let me start that question over. That came out weird. So because you have the perspective of watching the Catching Fire movie first, then reading the books, what was your experience? Just like what details that were fresh that weren't in the movie shocked you? Or were there any characters that were cut from the movies that you're like, oh, this person's interesting?
I mean, I learned once I love Finnick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I from watching the movies, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, he's all right. But once you like actually read the books about him, like he's definitely up there with one of my favorite characters for sure.
How can you not love him?
I know, and he like literally he cracks me up. Like reading the stuff, like the conversations he has, cracks me up.
Kind of thinking about Game of Thrones for a second. What's his name? Sam Claflin, who plays Finnick in the movie, actually auditioned for Jon Snow.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he was like one of like the top 5 choices or whatever for the role. But you know, thankfully we got him as Finnick.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can't imagine Jon Snow being anybody else but
Kit Harington.
Yeah, Kit Harington for sure.
It's like one of those things where it's like once they play that role for so long and make it their own it's like you can't it's hard to imagine anyone else. It's like it's now like trying to see anyone else play Tony Stark. I can't. It's Robert Downey Jr.
That's him. Yeah, that's
like
him.
And yep. Just like how Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yep. Like, absolutely.
Like, nope, can't recast that. I'm sorry.
Nope.
You have to find a way to, I don't know, freeze his head and attach it to a robot body in the future for the reboot in 50 years or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Well,
they'll have the technology then to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, that they go. Don't they have Walt Disney stashed in the freezer somewhere for that exact reason?
Yeah.
I mean that sounds like technology the Capitol would pull off. So
yeah.
Exactly.
No cap. No cap.
Wait till you meet a certain character in a ballad, because oh boy.
Oh man.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited
And
about
I
getting
won't
into
tell
that.
you who they play, but guess who they have casted in the ballad movie?
Who?
Viola Davis and Peter Dinklage.
Oh, I did read that. Or I
Yeah.
might have heard it from you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I probably posted about it on
I
Instagram.
mean, that just makes it that much of a big time show right
I know,
there.
because that's the thing. The great thing about these movies is that they're able to get like older cast members who are just like well established and well respected actors. So it's like they just bring a whole other level to it, because it's not like it's just
Absolutely.
like dystopian movie. It's like no. This is like Peter Dinklage would not sign up for this if
No.
like Viola Davis is not here for a paycheck. She's Viola freaking Davis.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard is Francis doing this one too?
Yes, Francis Lawrence is directing.
Oh, dude,
Yep.
it's gonna be amazing then.
Like that's what made me think, okay, maybe this movie will be okay, because basically Ballad, it's definitely of all the books in the series, it's definitely the hardest one to adapt. So, but I'm like, if anyone can do it, Francis Lawrence can do it.
Absolutely.
Like he adapted Mockingjay, so I'm like, okay, he adapted Mockingjay. Ballad's still gonna be, I think, more challenging to adapt, but you know what? I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in and just wearing a rainbow dress and having a good time. We were talking about Catching Fire. I have no idea.
Yeah, and that one's, I mean,
Yeah.
out of all of them, that movie's just, I love it. That movie's amazing. He did, just like I said, a phenomenal job.
And because I'm thinking, what was like a minor character, more supporting character who wasn't in the movie that you met the first time reading the books? I don't know, which one stood out to you the most?
And Catching Fire, or just in any of them?
I guess in Catching Fire, and then you can say another one.
I mean, not having like Madge and the whole her pen, the Mockingjay pen, and that, all of that. How they they're best friends and stuff like that. That was one of them for sure. But what
Madge is like the fan favorite who wasn't in the movie.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure Madge is like the most loved character like from the book that didn't make it into the movie.
I can believe that for sure.
And I've joked multiple times and like, hey, if we ever need to reboot the Hunger Games, I'll play Madge. Because think about it, it's like you get to play a character who's generally loved by the fandom. I don't have to work as many hours as the leads, and I don't have to do any combat training because I'm clumsy and lazy.
I mean, that's, yeah, me too. Pretty much.
And I get to, and she's still like the mayor's daughter, so she gets to wear at least a couple pretty dresses. So there's that.
Yep. And that was another thing, like how they described like the mayor, her dad. Like he seemed like a pretty, like a really good guy, like a really good dude, really good guy. And
yeah. And what'd you think of like the class, even just within District 12, the class system? Because the movies, obviously, they don't have time to really go into that, but like in District 12, not every single person's a coal miner. There's still, even within them, a class system.
Yeah. So when I first saw the first movie, like how she said she's from the scene, that I figured that's like the whole district is like that. But then you got how she says like PETA and his family, how her mom is from before she married her dad. She was like in a different doing the apothecary stuff. It was I guess a better part of the district.
Yeah, like
and then you got then the higher ups. So yeah, that I didn't know that until getting into the book for sure.
Yep. And because and like kind of thinking about Madge, especially in her family history with the Mockingjay pin that reaches Katniss.
Oh yeah, her aunt, right?
So what did you think of like? What was your impression like just from the movies of the Mockingjay pin?
What do you mean?
I don't know, because because it's hard for me to think because from reading the books first, like all I ever knew
Okay.
was the Mockingjay pin and the history that it has in the book. So like when I watched the movie, I was like, oh yeah, and I'm thinking of obviously of Madge and
Yeah.
how it originally belonged to Maisily.
Yeah.
But if
I
someone's
mean,
seen the movies, they don't even know who Maisily and Madge are.
like, yeah, I'd like the whole Mockingjay thing, the pin. The way I interpreted through the movies when I first saw them was like, just something she got for free, pretty much,
Mhm.
and how how much of a badass she is in the games and everything like that. And everybody loves her. She made it,
Yep. But
into that awesome thing.
like, and they don't even, and you don't even realize that from just watching the movies that Mockingjays, are the offspring of Jabberjays, a muck created by the Capitol, and Mockingbirds, and they created Mockingjays, a thing the Capitol never intended to exist and just somehow
Yep.
survived. And because that's basically Katniss, she's something the Capitol never intended to make. They never expected to
Yep.
survive. And that's another thing. The Mockingjays will have even more meaning for this story when you read Ballad.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I went into many a tangents and rants about Mockingjays during my Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes episodes.
Yeah, that's when I try to fast forward a little bit, just so I didn't miss it. I didn't catch any of that. Yep.
As soon as I start talking about like Coriolanus and Lucy Gray, you're like,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. But and then you just have to go back now and and listen to all those episodes when you get through.
Oh, I
Ballad of
will for
Songbirds.
sure.
Yeah, you can hear my shaky audio. I'm not kidding. In the first, I think in like the very first episode, because I was like recording with my earbud with a little microphone, it didn't occur to me that I had to keep my hair tied back because then like multiple times throughout the episode, my hair was like sliding against the microphone. Like major rookie mistake. I'm like, oh god. So
I
now I
mean,
never made that mistake again when I'm using my earbuds. Hair is always tied back.
nice.
Yeah. I'm like, and this week I learned this lesson while trying to figure out how to make a podcast.
I know how many episodes have you done of all your shows? A bunch.
I mean, officially, like 32, but that's not including the bonus episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure.
It's
I mean, because I'm thinking about, starting to do one myself, and
of course.
I'm sure from the very first one you did to where you're straight proven better now.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, no, and listeners, be on the lookout for Michael's whatever it is. Either way, I'll let you know when it happens. Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, and I know it's hard to pick, but you mentioned Finnick. Who are your like two other favorite characters in Catching Fire?
oh, I mean, I'm all like I just love everything about Peter and Katniss,
Of
like
course.
them two together, and just how that's probably why I went back to this book as being maybe my favorite, is because how it just in the train, the chapter 24, I think it was, the whole conversation they had, just the how close they got
Mhm.
into in that book. I love. I mean, there was a bunch of that stuff where I wish was in the movie.
Yeah, no,
Um,
rooftop scene.
yes, that one. Yep, right before
Everlark
the
fans know what
games.
we're talking about.
Huh?
I said Everlark fans know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I just loved all of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, which is so interesting, when you're rereading the series, to just see all the victors interacting and knowing that they all know there's a secret plan and Katniss has no idea, and she's obviously misreading their intentions, and it's like, ah.
Yeah, so here's my take. When you bring that up, how they're all holding hands and they don't want to get in there, and how afterwards you find out that half of them know that they're gonna try to get them out of there. Like, and Beatty was definitely one of them. But
Yeah.
why didn't this is all coming from Plutarch? Why didn't they say like, hey, this is what the arena is gonna be like. Don't go in to the jungle. Stay on the outskirts of the beach.
Probably because it would look way too suspicious if
Yeah.
victors were like, if half the victors were like, you know what? I'm not gonna explore the jungle. Especially if someone, and now granted, it would make sense if someone like, Beatty maybe didn't want to explore the eager to explore the jungle because he's not a fighter, but for someone, like Finnick, it would be weird if he didn't at least go out there because he can fight. He's one of the, if not the best fighter in that group.
And another thing with Finnick was, how, they're all holding hands and then, they get into the arena. Like, Finnick is the one. I mean, I wonder if, like.
He made the first kill.
He did. He made the first kill. Like, they probably all try to get into the cornucopia, like, hey, what's our plan? And then, nope, try it into the chest.
It's because it was the man from 5 and he wasn't in on the plan. So from his point of view, he's like, oh, this guy's legit gonna kill Katniss. Nope.
Boom.
Yep.
So they were the ones that started the bloodshed.
Yeah. So it's all the guy from District 5's fault. Then again, I guarantee the 4 like main careers, especially Brutus and Anabaria, they were definitely in it for the bloodshed.
Yes. That one part where Brutus was like, I guess, run to the cornucopia, and Finnick's like, Katniss, can you take care of that?
Like I'm done with it. Like Finnick has like, I have been having to interact and be pleasant with these mother effers for years. I'm done with them.
Yeah, do something with that.
It's like, please just get rid of them. I'm done with them.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Like, it's like those. It's like those like coworkers or like acquaintances that you have to bump shoulders with, but you're like, you want to get away from them as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I know that feeling all too well. Yeah.
And your customers, I'm sure.
I mean,
going from door to door.
More eager to get rid of me, I think. They're like, why is this person talking about solar? Yep. Or it's like, I read on Facebook that it attracts aliens. Thankfully, I've only ran into like 2 people like that, but that's another story.
Oh, you got another one of those recently, or no?
Yeah, like it has to happen at least a couple times. Otherwise, did you knock enough? Then it's a sign that you knocked enough doors. It's a sign you're doing well.
Exactly.
Yeah, but anyway, again, I don't prepare as well for episodes like these because then we just banter. But
yeah, there's a lot of tangents going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I said, yeah, at this rate, I'm definitely splitting this into 2 parts. So have fun in editing, Alyson.
And it's all my fault because I had to email you because I wanted to be on your show.
You had to email me.
My fault.
You had to want to talk to another fan of a series you love. How dare you?
I know. What's wrong?
How dare you want connection over a book series? Who does that?
I apologize, future Alyson. I apologize.
Yeah, I say this as someone who literally started a whole podcast. I told the story on the podcast before in previous episodes, but I'm not kidding. It was my 8th grade English teacher who introduced us to the Hunger Games because like once every 2 months or something, he would like just spend class just recommending us a bunch of books, and the Hunger Games was one of them. And he's like, this is like the greatest thing ever, and he's like hyping it up. I'm like, that sounds awful. I'm never gonna read it.
Now look at you.
Yep. And then the trailer for the movie came out, and I was like, because I was in the movie theater seeing a different movie with my friends. We saw the trailer, and we're like, wait, isn't that the book Mr. Andre talked to us about? And then I'm like, okay. And then my aunt gave me a box set of the series for Christmas, and I'm like, started reading. I'm like, well, guess I'm in this for life now.
Yep. That's pretty much like it sucks when you get to the end.
Yeah,
because you don't I don't.
Yeah, who was the person that like got you to watch the movies, or did you just like come across the trailer on your own and you were like, ooh, each other?
See, like I don't even remember seeing like the trailer or like even in the theater. Like it was through like a friend of a friend. Like we went to their house. They're like, hey, let's watch this movie. I'm like, what's it about? And they told me what it's about. And they're like, yeah, it's over a book and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, so we watched it, and I was like, All right, that's pretty good. And then I don't think I've seen any of them in the theater, which is weird because I love watching movies in the theater.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always liked the movies, but
Mm-hmm.
I love them now even more. So it's weird. I'm weird.
Yeah, well, now you have a chance to see a Hunger Games movie in theaters again.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit that up for sure.
Yep. Hey, Lionsgate, for listening. If you want a random podcaster at the premiere, I'll
There
volunteer.
you go. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I volunteer as tribute for that one. I'll take the burden.
Yeah, take that over.
Yeah, just someone's got to do it. But anyway, Brain, is there anything else I need to? Oh, what did you think of when you were reading Catching Fire for the first time, and I guess the movie as well? But what did you think of like Snow just like as a villain? Because obviously we only saw him like twice in the book. I mean, we see him more in the movie, obviously, because you can jump around out of Katniss's head. But strictly speaking, for the book, because you only literally saw Snow twice through Katniss's eyes, and then suddenly it's like you see a lot more of him, and you get full blown conversations with him.
Yeah, that was like kind of like the same thing with Gale too. So I mean, he's definitely a a bad dude for sure. It has to be either his way or you're dead kind of way. And Katniss, like, she didn't mean to start any of this up. She just trying to survive. And I mean, he kind of recognized that too when they're talking about that in the office or study or whatever it was
at our house, the study.
Yeah. And then, like I said, like with her and how they did it in the movie with the Mockingjay pen, like she just is just, that's what people, that's what they, how am I gonna say this? So they want a reason to have this uprising, and they're using her as you know what, I'm gonna do this, we're gonna get this uprising thing going. And so that's just how I see that part with that happening. I mean, she didn't mean for it to happen, but
yeah.
And now she's all in it now, or will be, I guess, after this.
Yep, it's gonna be an interesting time. And yeah, so yeah, like with Gabby, we keep talking about this forever, but I'm getting tired, and this episode is going to be very long as it is anyway. Like I said, definitely putting it into 2 parts because
I do have a question though. So the part at the end, BD's plan, like what the movie kind of showed him hitting the force field, he goes flying. Finnick and Peter are like nowhere near him when that happens, but in the book, so apparently he's trying to stab the force field, right? Like what's he like, I don't understand what's his thought process, like what's he trying to do?
I think that, and there was a video I found on YouTube of someone else explaining this much better than I did. I don't think she makes videos anymore, but if I find it, I'll link it in the show notes because she explains it so much better than I do. But but basically, BD wanted Katniss and Joanna to get the coil to the beach, and then into the water, and I think he was like going to attach it to the lightning tree so it could blow the force field somehow. I don't know. I don't really understand because I don't know why, but for some reason, whenever I try to read this, like everyone else, other than Beatty, like his thinking just goes right over my head. But then because Brutus and Ibaria cut the wire and attacked and like ambushed Katniss and Joanna, they realized, the boys, at the tree realized something went wrong because the wire went slack, and then PETA, I don't need I don't need a handyman, junk mill. And then I think PETA obviously rushed off to try to find Katniss. Finnick probably followed because, PETA and Katniss are the priority to protect for the mission. And I think Beatty just had to improvise, essentially.
So he was trying, I guess, because it was his job to like make the hole in the force field so
So the hovercrafts could come in and
Plutarch.
pick them up.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he was trying to just stab it and keep it in there until the lightning hits it, I guess.
I guess.
I don't.
Either way, things did not go according to plan, and they are extremely lucky that Katniss does the unexpected and that none of them got like blown up or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think that was part of their plan. Plutarch was just like when they just picked up Katniss and she was like still alive. Plutarch was probably in the hovercraft, like thank fucking god, thank fucking god, thank fucking god, fuck, 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 fuck.
Right? How just what the shit?
Internally, that's his monologue. I like to imagine.
Yeah.
And, he outwardly he's trying to be calm and calculating, but inwardly he's just screaming.
Yeah. And
Katniss, like, I'm so proud of Katniss, but also ah!
And she's just trying to just kill everybody. She doesn't want anybody to live because I guess torturing and all that stuff. So like Beatty.
Yeah, like like it's not clear in the movies because I guess Hollywood for a PG-13 movie maybe doesn't quite want to go that dark. But in the book, Katniss like legit thinks they're in like a capital prison and she's just ready to kill everyone to spare themselves the torture. And it's like, oh god.
Looking for Peter just to kill him.
Like, this is dark. Like I was 14 when I read that scene for the first time. I'm like, dang.
Oh, dude, there's times like during these books, I'm like, Suzanne, like, are you okay?
Yeah, like Suzanne, calm down. You good?
Dude, someone needs to check on Suzanne daily.
Well, listen, but it's like, can someone check on Suzanne? But also, does anyone know how to reach her? Because she kind of like disappears. Like she only reemerged recently because of the prequel and the movie adaptation for it. But before that, and this is why I kind of respect her so much as an author, is that she collected her millions and effed off and minded her own business.
Yeah, that's something we would have in common.
Unlike other certain famous authors who just continue to just make fools of themselves and cause problems, but whatever.
No cap.
Yeah, no. If I ever reach that level of success, guys, just remind me to just take my millions and fuck off into the sunset.
Oh, that's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Should do.
I don't want to talk to these people. Who are these people?
Like, love you guys. But bye.
Yep.
I'll check in on y'all in like maybe 5 years. Probably.
Yeah.
Like you might hear from me in like 5 years minimum. But anyway. Yeah, any final thoughts or questions you can think of? Because I got nothing. Because like I said, a lot of my talking energy happened 2 nights ago with Gabby as well.
No, I hear you. No, just she goes dark. She goes real dark, and it takes a while for her to get out of it.
I know. And yeah, that's another thing that the movies don't. I mean, the movies still do really well, and because there is a lot of material to cover that you can't cover or go into depth with everything, but it's just like Katniss is not okay.
She's not okay
at all. Like she's not gonna go through an experience like that and just come out and be like, oh, we're good. It's like season 2 of Stranger Things. Will's not okay. Yeah, he survived the upside down, but he's not okay.
He's not there.
Yeah.
And same thing with Jennifer Lawrence is just. I mean, that's another reason why I love this movie so much. She just kills it. Mm-hmm. Like that was another thing. There's no one gonna play Katniss Everdeen better than Jennifer Lawrence, in my opinion.
Except maybe Zendaya, but she was too young at the time. And not
who?
Zendaya.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she could. Like I don't know. I always see like these fan casts, like if the Hunger Games movies were being made now, like Zendaya as Katniss and Tom Holland as Peeta.
Oh,
like,
that would.
Tom Holland would be great as Peeta. I mean,
he would
have Josh Hutcherson, obviously, but Tom, and I'm glad Tom got famous from Spider-Man, but he still would have been a phenomenal Peeta.
Yeah, that chemistry would be epic. I mean, but Jennifer and Josh's chemistry was.
I know, like. They were like actually friends too.
They were like, yeah, they're like.
And one of my favorite things to watch is just like the montages of interviews people make on YouTube where it's like Liam being the third wheel.
Dude, right? All the I've seen a bunch of those. What do they call it? Joshifer?
Yeah,
Right?
Joshua. Like
Joshua,
Liam Hemsworth is like third wheeling. Liam Hemsworth is babysitting the two children.
dude. All of those are hilarious. I mean, they're funny as hell. But yeah, Liam's just there sitting there, like literally the third wheel of it. I love it.
Just me with all my friends who have coupled off. I'm just like, yep, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here to be the weird comedic relief friend. That's my job in life, everyone.
I mean, that used to be me, but now I'm like, hey, am I gonna be the third? Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah,
Nope.
y'all have fun. Nah, I'm done. I'm done.
Nope, you got this. I joke that whichever like married friends adopt me, I'll be the weird aunt who lives in the attic. I'll be the one the kids come to when they want me to like sneak them candy or whatever.
Yep. I mean, I'm that uncle now.
There you go.
I'm living that reality.
Nice.
I'm definitely the weird uncle, but I'll hook them up.
Exactly.
They know.
It's like, you want Reese's Pieces? Okay, here you go. And it's like, oh, you want to get ice cream? Okay, Mom will be taking her nap at 3:00, so we'll sneak away then.
Perfect. Yep.
Yep. It's like, oh, Mom said you're not ready to read Divergent yet. Here's a copy. But anyway, thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you.
Lovely to have a new voice in the void.
I'm glad I can finally talk to it about my addiction in life, which is the Hunger Games, and I can't wait for Mockingjay, which you got coming out.
Yep, like I said, I may or may not be drinking more alcohol during that time, but it's all good.
Yep, I will.
Yeah, I'm definitely when I get cover the Percy Jackson series eventually, because I will do a couple episodes talking about the terrible movies. Yeah, I'm drinking. I'll just have a whole bottle of wine for that one, but that's another story for another time.
I mean, my life motto is, if you're gonna pop open that bottle, you have to finish it. Yeah. There's no point to say that.
What did Ernest Hemingway say? Write drunk, edit sober. So in this case, record drunk, edit sober.
Perfection.
There we go. So, but anyway, thank you again so much for coming on, Michael. And okay, now we're time traveling, because then you get to hear me talk to Gabby and hear the many tangents as we do.
Hi, Gabby.